Hello lovely people, how are you all doing today? I certainly hope you are well. I am in this, our new year. Happy New Year, by the way, a proper Happy New Year. Get my hair up because I'm going to be cooking. Slight echo in here today because, yeah, the furniture is still out of the kitchen. I still don't have a freezer yet, but I'm loving having a fridge again. Well, a fridge that functions properly because the door closes properly and stays closed, doesn't fall off, is completely sealed, there's no motor noise, it's brilliant. Anyway, yeah, good start to the new year. So I'm making a recipe with you all today using leftover Christmas veggies. I'm going to do a parsnip soup but with a twist. I thought this is the perfect time to do a parsnip soup. There's a previous parsnip soup on my channel. I'll try to remember to put a card on at the end, which is a curried parsnip soup, and I love curried parsnips. It's doing a curried parsnip soup works really well because parsnips are such a strong flavour. They can take the strong flavours of the spices, they just work really well together. So I'm adapting the recipe slightly from this fantastic A Soup for Every Day, the New Covent Garden food company who do those soups that you see in the chiller cabinets at supermarkets. I'm adapting it slightly because their recipe calls for butter for the sautéing and cream added at the end. I'm not going to do either. I don't have any butter, I don't have any cream, I'm not going to go and buy any. This is going to be a nice frugal using up of leftover Christmas veggies. But as always, if you want to adapt the recipe and add cream, please feel free. So the main ingredient are parsnips. Oh, such a beautiful vegetable, sweet, earthy, aromatic, a taste all of their own. And I was thinking as well that some of you may have got a bit mad just before Christmas buying the ridiculously cheap veg that all the supermarkets seem to be offered. So great way to use it up. And also if you bought a load and you put them in your freezer, for those of you with a working freezer, this recipe, you can use the frozen veg with this because it's going to be a blended soup. So all those, sometimes when you cook veggies from frozen, they can be a little bit mushy. The texture's not quite right. Not a problem in a blended soup. Go for it. Parsnips, what a great veg. Good amounts of vitamin C, good amounts of all sorts of sorry, why am I frogging today? Good amounts of zinc, magnesium, calcium, all those sort of the trace minerals. Really good quantity of fibre. So a cup, which will be about 120 grams or so, a cup of parsnips gives you about a quarter of your daily fibre needs. And of course, fibre, our for our sort of gastric health. You know, if you think about the whole your digestive health, really good for our intestines, our bowel health. So go for it. Go for it with the parsnips. We're also going to be using leeks, and again, so many great nutritional benefits, qualities to it. And leeks, like the entire allium family, so onions, shallots, garlic, have really fantastic cancer fighting properties, so they can be a cancer preventative. So yeah, go for it with the leeks too. Oh, and the other thing with leeks, I did make a note of it because I don't know a huge about manganese, but leeks are really good for manganese. And manganese is one of those things, it's essential in carbohydrate and fat metabolism. So yeah, go for it with the leeks too. Okay, so the secret ingredient, and this is why I thought, oh, okay, so sorry, just before I come on to the secret ingredient, normally I swing you around and show you all my ingredients. They're all set up here, ready to go. So I am going to be using, it's about half a kilo of each veg. So I've got, that's 3 quite chunky leeks, half a kilo. And then I've got, there's 4 there, 4 parsnips. Again, it's about half a kilo. So by the time the parsnips aren't organic, so I will be skinning them, peeling them. By the time I've trimmed and peeled, it's going to be more like about 400 grams of each veg. So that's it for the veg. So I'm not going to be using an onion, anything like that. But, you know, if you had a bit of leftover onion in the fridge, chuck that in. I'm not going to cut into an onion for this because it doesn't need it. I'm going to be sauteing them down in some olive oil rather than butter. If you prefer, use some butter to saute them. Making up a litre of stock. And if you wanted to add cream, you do that right at the end. Like I said, I'm not adding cream, but the secret ingredient that made me go, you know what, I'm going to give this a go, because I would never have thought to add this thing that's in my hand to this recipe. I would not have thought of it in a million years. A lemon. So I'm going to use the juice and the zest of half a lemon. The juice will go in right at the end. The zest will go in, I'll show you on the way. So yeah, I'm really intrigued to see what that's going to do to the taste. It's just going to elevate it, isn't it? Make it zing a bit. Now, before we get stuck into cooking, a word about the lemon. This is an unwaxed lemon. They're not quite as commonly available as waxed lemons. The vast majority of lemons that you'll see in the supermarket will be waxed. You have to look around a bit for an unwaxed. I've bought unwaxed because I'm using the zest. The thing about them being unwaxed is they don't keep as long. So I actually bought 3 because I'm going to have them in the mornings. I'm going to have my little lemon drink. So I've got them in the fridge just to help keep them going a bit longer. The wax that's on most lemons is there to help lengthen the shelf life, transportation, shelf life in the shop, and even shelf life at home. So what if you can't find an unwaxed lemon? Look, I know most of you know this, but it's just for a handful who maybe don't know it, or in your area you just cannot find unwaxed lemons. Buy your normal waxed lemons, and then there's a couple of methods you can use. What I would do is pop the lemon in a bowl. I've got some water that's just boiled, it's just come off the boil. Pour that water over it. The heat of the water is going to start to melt the wax. And then with a vegetable brush, I have a little scrub brush that's just for vegetables. It doesn't go anywhere near anything else. Just scrub the wax off the surface. Give it a rinse. Job's a good one. You can do it in the microwave as well. I don't have a microwave, but you could just pop it in the microwave for about 10 seconds. Keep an eye on it. And again, it's just enough to start to melt that wax. And again, then with the scrubbing brush. The other thing you can do is make up a spritz. You might have this made up anyway for your cleaning, of half water, half white vinegar. Set it on a plate, spritz it, make sure you spritz all over, spritz, and leave it for about 4 or 5 minutes, and the acidity in the vinegar will start to melt that wax. And then again, after 4 or 5 minutes, out with the scrubbing brush, give it a rinse, that should get the wax off. So yeah, that's purely because we're using the rind. I'm going to zest it. If you're just using the juice, of course, doesn't matter, use whichever one you want. Also, in terms of zesting, again, this is only for folk who've never used zest in a recipe. You might not have done. Any of you who bake a lot, you almost certainly will. But I'll zest it on my box grater. I was talking about this once. It had come up in an interview I heard, and someone was saying they didn't know what the 4th side was for. So obviously that's my regular cheese, grating my cheddar. that side is for getting slivers, shavings of parmesan, posh restaurant talk. On that side, the really tiny cheese grating, that's for parmesan. And that side, the side that's like sand, well, it's worse than sandpaper, isn't it? The side that wants to shred your hand when you've got your hand in the washing up bowl, that's what I'm using for my zesting. That's your zesting side. So I'll just gently rub the lemon on there to get the zest off. Some of it will fall down inside, so do it on a plate obviously, but then there'll be loads of zest stuck in this spiky stuff, and that's where I would normally use my pastry brush, but this came to hand first. This is my mushroom shaped mushroom brush, and then just with a brush, it just helps to loosen and flick out any of the remaining zest in there. So that's what you'll need for today's recipe. You'll need either a box grater with a zesting side. You might have a totally separate little specific zesting tool. Those of you who bake might have that because you're zesting a lot. And then a little pastry brush or your mushroom brush, some sort of little brush to get out of the crevices. Right, let's get on. I'm going to just get all the veg prepped off camera because it's boring. I showed you at the beginning of the year, last year, you know, how to wash out leeks. If you've never cooked with leeks before, maybe I'll remember to put that video on the end as well. 2 videos to remember to put on the end. But yeah, I'm going to get on with washing and chopping the veg, and then let's join each other back at the cooker. It is so odd sitting here with no table. I feel like I'm sort of lost in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I'm weirded out today by the kitchen. Yeah, let's meet up. Let's meet back up in a couple of seconds in your time at the stove. I mean, what could be simpler? It's 2 veg. So I've warmed my oil. Whoopla. And in go the leeks and the parsnips. They're chunked up, you know, fairly small, sort of bite-sized pieces, just to help them cook quickly. Now, I'm just saying this for the ergonomics of the recipe. I've actually made my stock already because the kettle's noisy on camera. But if you're doing this for yourselves, get your leeks and parsnips prepped and chopped, warm that oil up, bung them in there on, it's a low heat, 5 minutes. Now, if you were doing it at home, now's the time to start making the stock, but also let's get on with the lemon. Half a lemon, I want the zest. So gently on the zesting side of my grater, because it's a bit noisy for talking. I'm going gently because I don't want to go right down into the white pith, because that's quite bitter. I just want to get that gorgeous zingy skin whilst trying not to skin my knuckles. So like I mentioned earlier, I'm just doing it over a little saucer to catch the bits that fall down behind. But in my experience, most of it sticks on the front of the grater. I think that'll do me. Is that about half of it done? Oh, catching a knuckle. And that's where the little, so you see so much of it is stuck to the outside. That's where the little, either a pastry brush or in my case my mushroom brush, to just brush it out of there, flick it out. And on the inside, there's still quite a bit. I'm just grabbing a sort of a bendy spatula. That's got it. So it's not a huge amount of of an ingredient. Oh, I should have done it on a white plate to show you. Look, it's just blending with all my flowers. If I put it into a little heap, you might be able to see better. There we go. And I'll get so this is going to go in at the same time as the stock. So in 5 minutes, that's going to have had a nice kind of saute. Then I'm going to add the stock and the zest and just let it simmer for 15 to 20 minutes till the veg are done and tender. And then right at the end, I'll just before blending, I'll add the lemon juice. So I'll get that juice now. And a quick costing. So the parsnips were 8p, and I think the leeks were on offer too. They were 69p, was it? I think 69p, so that's 77. Lemon was 30, but it's half a lemon, so that's 15, 77, 87, 92. Stock at 27, 19, £1.19, and this will make easily 4 portions, 4 generous portions. Hang on, I'm going to tip you up a bit because it's all wobble wobble. There we go. Yeah, it will easily make 4 portions. So 120, so 30 pence a portion. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Now, obviously, that's because the veg were on offer before Christmas. But never mind, let's see how it tastes. There was something else I was going to mention, Anna. Oh, yes. I realised when I was chopping and prepping all the veg, I suddenly thought, Vivi, you're doing your usual 4 portions of something, possibly even 5, and you haven't got a freezer. So it means I'll have a portion today and the rest will go in the fridge. I think it should keep okay in the fridge for 3 days. So it just means I'm going to be having this every day for lunch for the next, well, today and then another 3 days. But obviously once the freezer arrives, I would probably have 1 today, put 1 in the fridge to have in a couple of days, 2 in the freezer. Oh, the smell. That's the other thing. These, you know, what could be more simple? It is just 2 veg, the leeks and the parsnips, but they are both really strongly aromatic veg. So even just chopping them, this scent from them is absolutely gorgeous. I'm really interested to taste this. I can't wait to taste it. Oh, bit of skin there. Because I've never put leeks with parsnips before. So, yeah, always happy to try something new. I love both the veg, so why wouldn't I like them together? Right. I will rejoin me once. I'll put the stock in. You don't need to see that. So as I said, 5 minutes of saute, thereabouts. Then the stock and the rind will go in, simmer for 15 to 20 minutes. Then at the end, I will add the lemon juice and blend it, and then we'll come back and have a little taste test. Lovely finished product by the looks of it. Although, so I've blended it obviously, and blended it, you know, fairly robustly. There's still texture in there, but it looks to be a slightly thinner soup than I normally make. But that would be, if I wanted it thicker, that's easy to remedy. Just chuck a spud in there at the beginning of cooking, or, you know, myriad other ways of thickening soup. You all know that. Never mind. Let's try it. I mean, it smells gorgeous. Yeah, it really does smell yummy. So now we're going to decant to the living room because the kitchen, at the moment the kitchen table is in the living room. Still surrounded by chaos. Table there, table here, work everywhere. Never mind, I'm making the best of it for now. So also not the best lighting here, but this is where we're at, so never mind. Let's just try this parsnip soup with a twist. Wow. Okay. I'm just letting my taste buds have a moment to work out all the different tastes. It's really rather lovely. That lemon, I'm not getting a huge taste of the leeks. They're there, but really subtle. What I'm getting is the parsnips and the lemon. It is really, gosh, it's nice, it's unusual, it's different, as Kath or Kim, I don't know which one, would say. That's incredible. That, let's think, that is going to be 4 portions, so half a lemon, a quarter of a lemon, an eighth, I'm getting an eighth of a lemon, a bit of lemon juice in there, maybe like about a teaspoon, and I can really taste it, but it doesn't overwhelm. It's hard to describe. It's like these 2 flavours are gliding with each other, the parsnip and the lemon. I would never have thought to try that, but I'm really glad I did. I like it. I'm going to finish this bowl. It's a bit weird. My head is weirded out because I think because lemon for me feels like a summer taste, and here I am in winter with winter veg, but with that summer taste. It's a bit bonkers. It's bonkers, but I like it. So, I'll finish that in a moment. As always, thank you for hanging out with me in the kitchen today and now in the living room. It's always a pleasure to have you in there with me whilst we have a natter and get on with things. And I always hope, if nothing else, I think, with the recipe videos that, sharing a bit of nutritional information, maybe sharing sometimes little bits of technique like unwaxing a waxed fruit, whatever it is, but more than anything, I hope you give the recipes a try. And I know over the years, so many people have tried recipes, really liked them, and they've become part of your weekly repertoire now. I know quite a few people do the curry often. So I'm distracted because I'm quite hungry. It's gone lunchtime now. What is the time? Actually, no, it hasn't. It's just gone 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So it is about lunchtime. I'm hungry. So I'm going to love you all and leave you all. Get my face planted in this. And what's coming up next? Oh yeah, a bit of catching up on stuff. But that's for another day. For now, I shall say cheerio to you all and happy cooking, happy trying new things in your kitchens. Right, off you go. I need to scoff.